Sita, though. Christian Sita has been digging into that, and he joins us from one of those potential locations. Christian, there are a few options being discussed, including one of those over your shoulder.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. One of those options is the Delta Center. Another option is the parking lot across the street from the Delta Center and the Gateway. Now, we don't have any confirmation on where it could be located. I did reach out to Smith's Entertainment. I didn't hear back, and I reached out to the city and the county. And again, they didn't want to comment on that issue at the moment. I did get a chance to talk to Downtown Alliance, and they told me that the Utah Jazz wants to develop downtown into a entertainment district, so building an arena is an option, but for now the Coyotes could potentially be playing at the arena for the remainder of the season.
Well, Christian, it's interesting because the location you're at, obviously the Delta Center, they do have hockey there occasionally. But the other places you talked about, the Gateway, that Block 85 as they referred to it in the Olympic paperwork there, that large parking lot outside of the Delta Center, that would require building. It sounds like at least the temporary move would be the Delta Center. Is that part clear enough, you think?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we heard. It would just be a temporary thing. And again, they've told me that it'd be pretty expensive to build an arena, but that is the plan. And I believe earlier this year, the state legislature did pass a bill that would allow Salt Lake City to increase its sales tax. So that would help potentially fund that arena.
All right, Christian Sita here on 2 News Live, looking at what that Delta Center could look like with permanent hockey on the rink there. On Friday, Brian Malahy asked Utah Governor Spencer Cox about any new developments in the talks here to bring the Coyotes to Utah.
Do you expect an announcement next week that an NHL team, specifically the Coyotes, will be moving to Utah?
Well, I certainly hope so. We have not been giving any indication that anything is done yet. There's been a lot of speculation that things are moving forward. We do know that conversations are happening.
Have you been told that there will be an announcement next week that the Coyotes are moving to Utah?
We have not been told that yet.
But please note the smile that comes to Governor Spencer Cox's face when he's asked the question. He's a big sports fan and obviously had to put pen to paper on not just the bill that would approve the funding for the entertainment district, but also that conversation about Major League Baseball and the west side of Salt Lake City. So obviously there's a personal interest there. But when things regarding the NHL, the Salt Lake City, were moving a little bit slower back in the public eye, I spoke with a Utah native who played in the NHL and is now overseas. Actually, at the point of our conversation when we talked today, just trading some messages back in the United States. Daniel Brickley played for the LA Kings for a brief period, including a game at the Delta Center for the Frozen Fury Pro Hockey Series. And that's when he got to play in front of family and friends, people here in the Salt Lake Valley that he grew up playing hockey with. Here is part of our conversation from February about the NHL and what that could look like in Salt Lake City.
I know Utah's growing population-wise, but out of that population, what is that percentage who like hockey and would go? And I'm going to refer to when Vegas was coming into the NHL. A lot of people were, and I didn't think, can we do that in Utah? That's my only con to that. Besides that, I think it'd be great for Utah and the kids and getting people out. Growing up, we never had like an expansion ever. I know the Atlanta Thrashers moved. They just relocated, which, that's what Arizona's trying to do. But again, Utah was such a small hockey market that I don't think anyone ever really said, oh, let's put a Utah NHL team, So I don't really think that ever really crossed my mind. And so it was always fun when we had to go play hockey tournaments in like Colorado. We'd go see an Avalanche game, or in Arizona, we'd go see a Coyotes game. And so no, I don't think it ever really crossed my mind if we'd ever get a NHL team.
So say the NHL's coming to Salt Lake City, they call you and say, hey, you got to roster up with us. What's the answer?
Sign me up. Sign me up. Love to be there.
Well, wouldn't that be a dream come true for the Utah native? Stay with 2 News as we continue to follow the push for an NHL franchise in Utah, and obviously the conversations about Major League Baseball in Utah as well. We've talked about it a lot here on 2 News Live over the past couple of months. I'm sure we'll talk about it again. And you can find all of our past reports, interviews online, KUTV.com, the easiest way to look back at all of it, also on our YouTube page. All right, let's go in depth on a traffic congestion, perhaps concern, in Little Cottonwood Canyon. Highway safety data showing that 32 crashes have occurred in Little Cottonwood Canyon this year alone, including one over the weekend where a car caught fire. A little different look here, about 5 miles up from this live UDOT camera. So Darby Sparks has been looking into how long it may be before we start to see solutions. It's a 2-lane road in most parts. They got some passing zones, Darby, but there's also the question about the impact of the ongoing gondola project. What could those be?
Well, that's right, Brian. There's been a lot of accidents so far this year. 3 major accidents, as you mentioned, one over the weekend. Meanwhile, this gondola process has been stalled due to ongoing litigation, rather. And what I found out is that phase 1 of the gondola process, there are 3 phases. Phase 1 involves making some more bus services to alleviate some of this traffic. UDOT claims that the lawsuit is preventing them from even starting on any part of the project, including phase 1. However, plaintiffs with the lawsuit claim that they want to have that phase 1 begin with because of the traffic congestion that's still going on, Brian.
So Darby, it's interesting, obviously that video very eye-catching from over the weekend, and the crash itself involved a number of cars. But in terms of the data that we just mentioned, more than 30 crashes in Little Cottonwood Canyon this year alone, did you get the sense that that is a trend, trending in the wrong direction? I mean, where does that fall in line with this conversation?
Well, traffic congestion has been a huge problem in Little Cottonwood Canyon for decades. Crashes go up and down each year. I can't say whether it's increasing or decreasing. I certainly know that 32 crashes by April is a lot of crashes, and it is well known that crashes occur here up the canyon each year. And so the gondola project and the transportation project in general was meant to get more cars off the road so that there would be less congestion, but also less traffic accidents. And so that's a part of this whole process, Brian.
And as always, when it snows, people want to get up there. They want to get the goods. Darby Sparks giving us the goods on 2 News Live. Also, her coverage coming up tonight on 2 News at 6 o'clock. So about 20 minutes. Grab that remote and tune in for that. We've been, of course, reporting on the proposed gondola project for the past couple of years, and you at home might have some feelings about it. Of course, you can get caught up on the legal process and how we got to this point where we are right now. Head to our website, KUTV.com, search gondola to see our past reports. I'm sure you'll see just a few up there. Meteorologist Sean Kelly here on this fine Monday, and nobody on this live UDOT cam up or down right now.
Right.
I mean, the seasons are changing. The bug is still there for some to get after and ski. Finally, a car. I've been waiting for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit slick out there for sure. We've got some of that snow falling high up in the elevations right now. But across the area, we're seeing some good rain out there. We saw some good rain across much of the state. Look at some of these totals. This is impressive, and it continues to climb upwards here. About close to 1/4 of an inch, I think, will end up here in the Salt Lake area. But Brigham City, over 1/2 inch of rain. Tooele nearing an inch as well. Ogden seeing over 1.25 inches there. So impressive totals, and we're still seeing some of that light rain out there right now. 48 degrees in Ogden and into the Salt Lake area. Provo sitting at 46. We had some good sunshine and some beautiful weather over the weekend. Unfortunately, today was kind of a gloomy day, right? And it remains to be that way. It's still pretty chilly as well. And this is an impressive graphic. 20 to 25 degrees cooler from 24 hours ago. Along the Wasatch Front, we're into the 40s. 46 in Heber, Manti at 43, 50 in Milford, 52 in Cedar City. So finally dealing with an unseasonably chilly day today, and you can still see some of that scattered rain. We're dry into the central part of the state. Panguitch area dealing with a few isolated snow and rain showers, Beaver, but generally starting to dry things off down towards the south. Monticello up through Moab, still seeing some light rain, but some of the steadier, heavier stuff pushing through our northern Wasatch Front areas from Brigham City, Ogden, seeing some heavy rain in your area, and this is pushing towards the Salt Lake area. So we'll see some of the heaviest rain in about an hour here in downtown Salt Lake. You'll see that through here on the Futurecast through about 10 p.m. After 10 p.m., we start to taper things off a little bit here. Still seeing some of that scattered rain and snow showers. Tomorrow, though, dry across the area and a lot nicer than today. We do get a little bit of a weak disturbance trying to work its way into the area on Wednesday. Maybe a spot shower or two for our northern counties, including our southern counties in Idaho. But generally, overnight, after midnight, we start to dry things out, 30s and 40s, so pretty cold, but beautiful weather tomorrow, back up closer to where we should be. 60s for highs. We'll take that with the sunshine returning as well. Look at this St. George forecast, 80s. Look at that, plus a 2, can't forget that. But nearing 90 degrees as we get into Sunday and Monday of next week. Look along the Wasatch Front, not too bad as well. 60s become 70s as we get into the weekend. So nicer weather ahead. Hey, I'll take that. One bad day today, and then 7 plus 2 days of beautiful weather.
Sean knows I love the +2 here. Big fan of the +2. 7 days, we need 9. Especially the +2 gives us like a really cool teaser of what's coming up here beyond the traditional 7. Hey, I got some breaking news for you, okay?
Okay.
Do you know who Caitlin Clark is?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Moments ago, just selected #1 in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. So that's a little breaking news for you here on 2 News Live. There's the X tweet from X thread, X message, whatever it is, from the WNBA. Right now, just coming in just a couple minutes ago. So first pick, 2024 WNBA draft is Caitlin Clark. And you know what? Maybe if you weren't a big WNBA fan before this, or a women's basketball fan perhaps, Caitlin Clark has changed the game for so many. So we had to make sure we told you all about this here on 2 News Live as it's coming in. Let's get you some more information here back at home in Salt Lake City. Tonight, we're talking about the concert series returning to downtown Salt Lake this summer. It's the Salt Lake City Arts Council once again hosting the Twilight Concert Series. And on your screen, you can see all of the artists that will come through here. And you know what? I got to say, the best part about this is when it's a show night, our station area here downtown is just lit. I mean, it is a different vibe here in downtown. You know, all of these are going to be at that library, actually at the Galvin location, except for one that's on August 16th at Library Square. So season tickets go on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. Individual show tickets will go on sale Wednesday at 10 a.m. And you know what? I know a lot of people have gone to these shows over the years. Ogden puts on a really good Twilight. Salt Lake City also does. There's great shows at Deer Valley. Sean, I know you're very interested in what's going on in the mountains there for some good music. So it's a really cool thing when you step out of the building here. For you, if you're doing some of the late shows too, you pop outside. It's just a different feeling in the summer months here in Salt Lake City.
I'm excited. I love music, love live music, and so I'm excited to see what Salt Lake has to offer in the summer.
Maybe Sean Kelly will be on stage introducing some of these bands here. Call out my boy here. Give him the microphone.
Let's do it.
Just don't sing for anybody, please. Thanks for watching 2 News Live here on this Monday edition. Great to have you with us. We'll do it again tomorrow here. If you missed anything, head to our YouTube channel. Go to the Live tab where you can watch back all of our shows here that we've done throughout the course of, the last year now? I have to check when that 1-year anniversary is, Sean. Thanks for hanging with us. Have a good night.
Did you recognize that?